Guys, I am here with a whip and chat. I am working on Roselle by Michelle Zia from Munimade. Let's see, she's got 53,600 square diamonds, and she is a 50 by 67 centimeter. And I started her on 7/10 of 25. So this is one of my whips when I tried having multiple whips and using a spinner, and yeah, I didn't feel like I got a whole lot accomplished. So let's see, what is new in my world? I'm gonna apologize in advance if I end up hitting this tripod. It is not a wonderful tripod, and it's kind of awkward to put it up while I diamond paint. I actually have to put the phone upside down, so hopefully it's right side up for you guys. Because I can't put it in front of me. There's just no possible way of me putting it in front of me. I got a phone call, was it Friday, from my mom? I think it was Friday. And my dad's sister, Candy, apparently her husband came home from work on his lunch break, and she was laying on the floor, and apparently she had an aneurysm. So of course he called 911 and they put her on life support, and she was a donor. So once the family had a chance to come in and say their goodbyes, they went to harvest her organs, and she had a mass on her pancreas. So possibly had pancreatic cancer. So later that evening, my Aunt Debbie, which would be Candy's sister, called, and she said, I asked her, she said, well, they don't know if it was cancer because they didn't biopsy it. I said, okay, but why didn't the family have them biopsy it? Well, she was already too far gone. Well, there's so much cancer in that side of the family, and this really upset me about my dad too. Debbie and Candy were the ones that made all the decisions for him. Debbie put herself in charge of his finances, and Candy put herself in charge of his medical. And I asked her multiple times, because my grandma and my dad and 2 other family members on that side have all had brain cancer. So I wanted to know exactly what he had. Plus he had throat cancer. I wanted to know exactly what he had so I can go to the doctor and get tested without having to do a million different tests. And you can actually take samples of the cancer that you have and see if it's like DNA related. So my Uncle John actually my dad's brother has prostate cancer, and he did have his tested, and it is not DNA related. So why wouldn't you have that tested? I don't understand. I mean, I wanted to have a full autopsy on my dad to see if he had anything else. I wanted a full medical history that I could bring to my doctor's office and be like, look, this is what, my dad's biopsy results. I want, especially when it comes to cancer. I mean, I have a kid. So whether or not they're going to survive or not, why wouldn't you have that tested? I don't understand. And the fact that we didn't even get an option for anything when it came to my dad. I don't know. Just crazy how life has been. I mean, it just never feels like it's getting better. And I know things could always be worse. just, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like I'm cursed. You know, it's anytime things start going good, something just kind of slams me down. And I know when we lost our jobs, that was really just kind of the icing to the cake. And typically when bad things happen, I would talk to my dad, because he didn't try and give advice. He didn't, like if I call and tell my mom something, she will turn it around on herself somehow. When I called to tell her that we moved, it was poor me, when am I going to see my granddaughter, and my life is over, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we had to sell our house. We had to move across country, 18 hours away. We have to sit and try and figure out how we're going to come up with another $7,000 to pay the movers so we can get our stuff, so my kid doesn't have to sleep on an air mattress. And actually, she just popped her second one. And we don't have the money to keep buying air mattresses, so she's stuck on the floor now. You know, even the stuff that is in storage, half of our furniture they left behind. They didn't clear out all the closets, so all our winter stuff got left behind. We had to sell half our furniture because it wasn't going to fit here. My husband had a whole bunch of arcade games that he had to sell. He had to sell his computer just so we could have the money to get here. And now I can't get anybody to call me back for a job, so we're trying to make it on just his income, and our rent alone here is $2,000. So that's half his income for the month. So I don't know. I just hope things will get better and bad things will just stop for a while. I mean, like I told my aunt, I said, I don't know how much more I can handle. You know, it's just, I'm only one person. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has had this much bad luck in the last, well, let's see, Hannah's 11. Everything started when she was, I don't remember if she was 4 or 5, but I'm tired. You know, and then there's my own health. Our insurance doesn't kick in until February. We haven't had insurance for a few months now, since summer. So I've been having to pay out of pocket for my meds, and half my meds I can't get because I needed to go in and I needed to have a special eye test done and blood work, and well, I couldn't pay all that out of pocket. So I've been off my RA medication for quite a few months now. So I hurt every day. I hurt. I don't even know how I would make it through half the jobs out there. I mean, there's jobs out here I could easily get, but I can't work 12 hours on my feet. I was supposed to have hip replacement years ago, and I didn't do it, and I regret it now. Because maybe if I would have had that done, I wouldn't be in such bad shape. My hip doesn't hurt all the time, but if I'm on my feet 12 hours a day, I can guarantee I wouldn't last more than a day. Because when I worked at the pharmacy, I'd go home and my feet and legs and everything would be just swelled to high heaven, which I never had issues with before. So I don't know what to do. Make lemonade, I guess, because when life gives you lemons, and I tell you what, I'm drowning in those lemons, I think. Nothing exciting has really happened. Oops, except me spelling my drills. For me to even talk about now. I need to start writing stuff down or something. I just hope the money for the house comes in, or the money from my dad comes in pretty soon. I was told December. I know the house money was supposed to be just Christmas Eve was the 45 days, and that's what the guy had, 45 days to sell the house, or he had to pay for it. Well, those 45 days were up to December 24th, because I looked it up, and he doesn't want to pay us until he sells it. Well, that's not the agreement we had. We did it that way on purpose, where somebody would buy the house and turn around and resell it, where we didn't have to deal with it, because we knew, especially with Simple shutting down, that chances are we weren't going to be able to sell the house. And we can't wait. I mean, we can't get another house loan if we still have a house loan through the, because we went through the VA. Well, as long as we still have that loan, we're not going to be able to get another one. And they're going to only keep it on hold for so long. Because if we had to pay our house payment plus our rent, because everything's included, well, it's not really included when we're paying $2,000 a month. I mean, I've never heard of rent being that high before. And looking in other areas, and it's just this area, even if you want to buy a house, you're paying, because all these new factories and everything are coming up here, you're looking at $100,000 to $200,000 over what the property value actually should be, all because of factories coming in. So even if we do decide to buy a house, once everything gets settled, we probably are going to have to go to a different town, which sucks, because my daughter had to get adjusted to a new school and everything here, and then she'd have to change schools again. And she even asked, well, if we move out of this place, am I going to have to go to a new school? And my husband told her no. Well, the chances are we're not going to be able to afford a house here, because the houses in our range are going to be too small and still too much money for what it's worth. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I like where we're at. Idaho is a beautiful state, and it's not a state I gotta change my hoodie, I think. Just ended up a big old glob. On the plus side, I'm getting through these whips. I think I have, I have a cross stitch conversion, which I don't have the tablet. I did find my dad's old tablet that my aunt had bought him, and I did get Pattern Keeper downloaded on it, but I wasn't able to pull up my progress for my other one, so I'm gonna have to pull the canvas out. But I don't think I have much left of that. It's just a princess panel. And I have, I don't know, 3-4 inches off of the bottom left, maybe. It's not much. I can't count. And then I've got a custom that I'm working on. And, what's the other one? I've got one from Pam Diamond Paintings. That one's around. My custom is around. And then I have, what did I have wrote down in my book? What is it called? Let me grab my book and see. It's big and it's square. It is, oh yeah, Steampunk Prowess. So once this one's done, I have 3 more plus, I don't even have that wrote down, do I? I don't. So 3 more plus my cross stitch conversion. So hopefully, let's see, January, maybe March. And hopefully I have all my diamond paintings. Once I get my diamond paintings, I'm gonna kit up the first one. And that would be, well, it depends on what I'm working on. 'Cause I'll do one, if I'm working on a round, I'll kit up a square. If I'm working on a square, I'll kit up a round. And I have 10, well, I've got 1 from 2018 and then 10 from 2022. So the one from 2018 is a square. Then I've got Pajama Time from Randall Spangler, that's a square. So either be the Stained Glass Rose from 2018 or Faces of Fairy, which is a round. Otherwise, the 10 from 22, I've got the Stained Glass Rose, that's an Ever Moment from 2018. Pajama Time by Spangler. Faces of Fairy, which I believe is a Christmas one. Then I've got Witch House. I also have Mystery Kit number 1 that I had traded somebody for House on the Cliff, I think, when I got it in a mystery box. And I also have got, which I don't have these listed because I need my kits so I can figure out which ones came out of the mystery box. I think I know more or less which ones they are. But otherwise I have Mystery Kit number 23 and 24 also. And then The Wicked Witch, Crystal Ball, Bond, Dreaming Away, and Love Your Inner Child. And I know Dreaming Away isn't very big, and that's a round. So, let's see. That's 11 kits there, because I'm mainly working on Diamond Art Club. I'm not, and then I have other kits from other companies, plus just a few from Diamond Art Club that I want to work on. I did 26. One has a question mark. I gotta see how many munimades I even have. I might only have one. So, the main ones I want to get done are the ones from 2022. So we'll see. We'll see what I get to when they get here. If they get here. If they don't get here, I'm gonna be sad because that's over 100 kids that I'm losing. So keep your fingers crossed that somebody gives us the money we're owed so we can get our belongings. I'm so behind on credit card bills, and my car payment's 2 months behind, and I'm freaking out. But anyways, we're getting close to 20 minutes. I think I might end it at that, since I am a negative Nelly today. Guess I'm having a feel sorry for yourself kind of day today. I don't need to do that to you guys. I'm looking forward to summer where we can do some exploring. I really want to go to the hot springs, but we gotta find a place to take our dogs. I'm so used to being able to call up Red Hydrant and tell them the dog's names, and they say they would put them in a kennel together, even though they typically didn't put large dogs and small dogs together. But if they didn't put them together, then as soon as one got out of the cage, they were off and running looking for the other dog. So they were nice enough to keep those two together. So I don't know how it's gonna work here, but I would love to be able to sit in a hot spring. I've never even seen one. I'd like to get some pictures and videos of the mountains, and I got my dad's cameras when he passed away. That was the number one thing I wanted, was his cameras, because he's got some really expensive cameras. So I want to try and figure out, I gotta figure out how to use them first, I guess. I think it'd be fun going out and taking pictures of different spots around here. But anyways, with that, I will bid you adieu. Happy diamond painting. And I will see you next time, and hopefully it'll be a positive note. Bye, guys.